Welcome back to the Fit Like Krys Podcast. We have a returning guest member, instructor, amazing person, Brittany. I feel like in our last podcast, Sport is not a fan of her nail choice. He said, listen, is this for pride?
No, but it should have been.
So cute.
Right?
Love it.
Summer.
Another thing I love about a New Jersey girl, the nails.
The nails, the hoops.
Yeah, everything.
Got it all going today.
The tan.
Yeah.
You came prepared. I look like it's November, but it's fine. We're fully in
100
July.
degrees
Yeah, it's literally 100 degrees outside. It's fine. Last time you were here, we talked about love toned.
No.
We talked about you being an instructor. What did we, because I did Erin love toned. What did I talk to you about last time?
I think it was like more about like confidence and like going out of my like comfort zone.
Right.
Like,
okay.
become an instructor.
Yes.
Speak to anybody.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to bring you back because you and I share something in common. We have is yours an autoimmune disease? Yeah. Autoimmune disease, and yours is on a different level than mine, completely different, but it's just something personally, just knowing what I kind of go through. I know, and just not even having an autoimmune disease. And I was just talking to our amazing podcast recorder. Shout out to Mike. I was just telling him how it's so hard to be fit physically, period. Like without anything, like it's so incredibly hard. And I respect you so much for the shape that you're in because it's so hard. Like I put in a lot of effort and like, I'm in decent shape, but I know what it takes to get to a certain level and it's really hard. So the fact that you're at that level physically, like I would even say like elite, in sort of the physical fitness category with your autoimmune disease is like really impressive, especially because of the type of autoimmune disease it is. So I want to talk about first just like what it is and then kind of bring people through how you even do what you're doing right now. So just tell us about your disease and what it is and when you were diagnosed.
So it's called myasthenia gravis. It basically means like grave muscle weakness. So my muscles don't contract. So I take medication to help them contract basically. And I was diagnosed when I was like 19. So
how did you get diagnosed? Like, how do you know that you have that?
So I had to go for like different tests. Like it started with like an MRI of my brain and then they didn't know. And then I went to neurologist.
What symptoms did you have?
So it started off just like randomly, I would like drop stuff. Like I'd be like holding a drink and my hand would just like give out. And everybody just like, we all just were like, oh, you're clumsy. Oh, you're drunk. Like whatever, no big deal. The first time I realized it was like a real like problem or something was like off, I was in the Rockaway Mall with my friend and the escalator was broken and we were walking up it and I thought I tripped and I like cut my knee all up. I cut my hands all up. And I went to get up and I went to take another step and I fell again. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
That's so scary.
And so I was like, I can't move. I just need to like sit. So we like moved off to the side and like I sat down. And then after like a couple of minutes, I was like, okay, I think I feel a little bit better. And we just like continued on our day. I just felt a little off, and then it would just be like random things. Like I'd be driving and all of a sudden I felt like I couldn't turn the steering wheel anymore.
That's not fun.
Which was very like
dangerous,
scary, dangerous. I'd be like talking and my voice would go like weird. Like I felt like I couldn't talk anymore or I couldn't swallow.
Wow.
There were like mornings where like my mom would have to help me get dressed to go to work and help me brush my teeth. Like it was but it wasn't like consistent for a while until eventually like it started to be like more consistent. Like I needed more help. I couldn't turn the key to get in my house. Like, and eventually I was like, I think something's wrong. Like, I think we have to get this like figured out. So that's why I ended up trying to go to different doctors and figure out what it was. And they figured it out through like a blood test and like a test where they like shocked me. They like stuck needles in my muscles and shocked me. That didn't feel great, but I did it.
Okay, so that was when you were 19.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so as soon as they figured out what it was, they just put you on the medicine you're on now right away? Or were you on different medicines? Or?
So they started me on that, and then I had to have my thymus gland removed. So like you can't really see it that much anymore, but I have a big scar
Wow.
down my chest.
Wow, that's like a surgery.
Yeah. I was in the hospital for like 5 days. Like,
wow.
It's my favorite thing to freak people out with because you can feel the wires going down my chest from it.
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. So it's my favorite thing to like freak people out. It's just like a bunch of twist ties. If you see it in an x-ray, it literally is just a bunch of twist ties.
Okay, what does that do? I don't even know.
So apparently, from what I remember, because it's been so long now, is everybody has like a thymus gland when they're born, and it helps like build your immune system, I think.
Okay.
And then most people, as they get older, like I think it like goes away, or I don't know, it just becomes like an inactive like thing. But mine had like a tumor on it, so they had to take it out. And apparently they don't know what the tie is between having a thymectomy, it's called, and having myasthenia. But I had to have mine removed, and then I've been on and then we just tried to figure out the right dosing of the medication.
So are they related, those two things?
Yeah, but they don't know why, unless more has come out since I haven't done a whole lot of research.
Is so random and wild, and the body is crazy.
It is. It's
what
the things.
So you've been on this medicine that you're on now for 10 plus years?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the medicine?
So I take like a generic version of it. It's something called Mestinon.
And how do you administer it? Like
I take it every 4 hours. So I take it like first thing when I wake up, every 4 hours throughout the day. I don't take it overnight.
Okay.
I know there are other versions of it. I've tried the like longer extended release versions. It didn't really work.
Do you notice it because you don't take it overnight when you wake up? Is it hard to wake up?
Sometimes.
In the morning?
It's gotten significantly better, my friend. Now that I think like it's been so long, I don't know, but it's
she feels your pain. She's very empathetic. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you.
Yeah, but some mornings I can definitely feel it more than others. But I feel like I have it in a good space now than compared to like back when I first got sick. It took some time.
Okay, so when did you start working out and getting into fitness, or were you an athlete, or what? So
I was a cheerleader. Like I played softball. I was a cheerleader. Like I always had to like do something athletic. And then in my early 20s, like once high school was over, I didn't go to college to do anything. Like, so it was like, I just kind of was like, I don't really have to work out, but like I would dance on bars.
Yeah.
Like my workout.
Nice, Brittany.
That was in heels. That's a lot of work.
It is. Listen, I did the same thing for many years. I get it.
But I didn't start like going to a gym or like working out till I was probably like 25, 26. And I only started going because I was like, I don't know if my medicine isn't working right. I don't know if like I just don't feel right. Like it just felt like I'd spent so much time not really taking care of myself. I was like, I wonder if I do, maybe it'll help, because there aren't a whole lot of other options to help me. I mean, so there are some other medications. You can go on prednisone. There are different things, but I'm like, maybe this will help me.
And it's so interesting because doctors don't tell you that. Yeah.
No. It was don't work out.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. And rightfully so when you have a muscle problem.
Yeah.
And where, constant movement will fatigue it. They're not really going to tell you, go run a marathon or join a gym.
Yeah.
So.
But that actually helps you.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like,
well, do you think so or so?
I mean,
do you feel better?
To me, I think that if I don't want to know where I would be if I didn't start taking care of myself.
Right.
Because I'm 37 now. Like, who knows what
would have happened?
What have happened? If I honestly do think it makes a difference. I think that, do I take things to an extreme? Probably, but I think some form of movement and like taking care of your overall health and wellness and like is better sometimes than what the doctors tell you.
Do you feel that, and you don't really have experience of not having this, working out as hard as you do, so there's no comparison, but do you think that it's harder for you Like, does it feel like it's harder for you than for other people, would you say? Do you know that or not?
I mean, I don't know it, but I would assume, like, most people don't go and have to think about, if I pick this up, am I going to drop it on my head today? You know, like, it might just be too heavy.
Yeah.
But me, like, my arm will just give out and I don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, so like I have to think
How
about it.
often does that happen? It
really like depends. Like it happened the other morning in class when I was like just using a band and like I went to pull and like all of a sudden I was like, it's not working right now. So it just kind of like depends. And sometimes I don't know when it's going to happen, you know, like it just.
So sometimes you can feel when it's about to happen?
Sometimes I can. And sometimes I just like give out. But it's been a long time since like anything like bad has happened where I've like fallen and like significantly hurt myself. So that's good.
Have you tried to like, I mean, I remember when I got diagnosed when I was 14, so younger, but when I was like 24, I thought I was cool and I tried to take myself off my medicine. Have you done that?
Yeah. So my doctors have even told me, they're like, why don't you just see like,
you're
you've gone into like remission or if it, you know, like, why don't you just not take it? And I was like, I've tried.
Yeah.
I can go like longer periods of time than the 4 hours. Like most days it's not, but I can feel it. I feel it in my eyes. I can feel it in my hands.
Wow.
I can feel it just like in like my whole body. So I like know that it hasn't gone away.
Do you think that's one of the reasons you do work out so hard and you push yourself to like make your muscles work? You know, like you're gonna work.
Maybe subconsciously. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But
so when did you kind of transition from just like, oh, I'm going to the gym to like take care of myself to like really like, have you been in a fitness competition?
No.
Interesting. No. Okay. Cause you're like you're at a fitness competition level. You could.
It's very like extreme. Like a lot of the women who go to my gym compete. Okay. And they look incredible. And I follow a lot of them on, you know, Instagram too. But like the prep for it, I wonder if my body could handle that. And that's the only thing. Like I've toyed with the idea of it.
It's very extreme.
But it's a very like extreme, you know, prep for it. And I'm like, I don't know if my body would handle it or if it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe someday I'll try it.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you do is already extreme enough, but yeah, competition level is not like healthy.
Yeah.
You have to do things that are not great for your body, but like whatever, it's part of life. And if someone wants to do it, power to them. So I also wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of people out there right now that have excuses of, oh, I'm just tired. I can't wake up for my workout. I'm just going to snooze my alarm. Or like you're doing a push-up and you're just like, oh, I'm going to put my knees down because I can. And you have all these lame excuses. And not to say that we all don't have our own problems because, you know, I like the metaphor of the lady crying on the yacht. She has her own problems, you know, like everybody has their own pain. We can't judge. And I think it's important to hear stories of people because we get into these places of struggle and we think not only are we the only one, but we also think like, oh, I can't do it and I can never do it. So it's really important for people to hear that you're doing this despite something that literally doctors said you probably shouldn't work out, maybe go for walks, right? Like what, did they give you any nutrition stuff, like anything? It's so interesting to me how it's just like, I remember doctors telling me, no, there's nothing you could do, nothing you could eat, nothing. And I'm like, if I would have continued living how I was living, like y'all had nothing to say about that before. Like you were going to just let me continue that.
Yeah. It's scary.
It's really scary because even being younger and your body can handle more, it still felt like I remember not being good, like not feeling good. And so I can't even imagine. And so many people are living that way now where it's like, because it's not a conversation in doctors' offices of it, not in all, I'm not saying in all, but I've been to a lot of doctors and it's not really a conversation about what you're eating.
No.
And, you know, maybe they'll ask about workouts, but not in enough detail. And changes your whole life. So the fact that that's not a component when you're going to like a rheumatologist or a cardiologist or these people that are, it's like, thank God for the medicine, because you and I might not be sitting here without it. But at the same time, you can have not just a productive life, but like no one would know either of us had anything.
It's true.
And I think it's so cool to not be defined or even it's like you don't even think about it till you take your medicine. I think I saw you taking a pill one day and that's how I found out. Like you might have said something like about it before, but it was kind of like not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you taking a pill and I was like, oh, what's that for? And then I was just like, what?
Yeah. And I used to try and hide it. And I used to be like sort of embarrassed by it. And now I'm like, why? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a superpower. And okay, so we've gave it enough light. So now I want to talk about your routine a little bit. And how long did it take you to get to a place that you're like as consistent as you are? Like, how do you get to a place that it's just like, no doubt about it, like you're working out, you're going to the gym?
I don't even remember like when it switched. Because I remember like first starting to go to the gym and being so self-conscious about it, not even be able to like barely like lift 2-pound weights. Like I could do no more than walk for like 5 minutes or 5 minutes on the elliptical. Like that was it. And I was like, okay, now I'm gonna leave. But just as I started to get like a little bit stronger and a little bit more, I've always liked the like bodybuilding aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So I never thought I could be anywhere near that level. And obviously I'm not anywhere near that level, but I like that aesthetic. But it just sort of like motivated me a little bit more to like be like, I wonder if I try this or I wonder if I try that. But when it took a couple years for it to become like really like routine, but I felt better when I was doing it. So like that sort of made me like push myself like a little bit more to like want to go like, oh, if I go to the gym, like I do feel a little bit better, like if I'm not eating a Big Mac every night, I do feel a little bit better, if I'm not drinking so much. So just like small little changes like over time, but it's been an over 10-year journey where, and that's where I think people like are like, oh, well, look at, she does it or you do it or but it took us a long time to get to where we're at. And it's still not done for
never done.
No.
It just changes.
Yeah.
But the component for me is always, and because I think we're both blessed in a way with having the autoimmune disease, because we have to think about if something feels good. It's not just about like the look.
Yeah.
Right? Like it has to be like, do I feel better? Because when you don't feel good, it's the scariest thing in the world. Like when you don't feel like yourself, you're just like, whoa, like not stressed, not anxious, just like actually not feeling like you need to go to the hospital, like not yourself, like you can't take a deep breath, your heart is beating, you can't use your hands, you know, like these are real things that give you a wake up call. And I think both of us got that wake up call really early and took it in a positive turn, as opposed to being a walking representation of what the disease could be. Do you know anybody else that has your disease in your personal life?
I don't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder, because I've seen a couple people who have my disease because I go to get an infusion.
Okay.
And they look like like you can tell they're sick.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to me that I'm like, I walk in and I'm like, I work here. Like they're like, they don't know I'm about to get an infusion.
And that's what people like expect though.
Yeah.
Like you expect what you're like seeing, and it's like, it's sad that that's what like society expects people to look like that are sick.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You don't have to go downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like look sick even if you are.
Yeah.
And
actually, if you put effort into what can I do to make myself feel good, inevitably you're going to start feeling better. So at the point that you are now, like outside of your physical, I think it seems like you've like you said, you got in a good place with the physical part. Does it affect you mentally? Or do you not think about it?
Probably not so much anymore. Sometimes it's like a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, like especially when I first like got sick, like it probably really messed me up more than I think. Like now that I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, like it just like I woke up one day and like this was my life now.
Yeah.
And so like I don't remember ever waking up and feeling normal. Like even though I spent 19, 20 years of my life just waking up like it was nothing. Like I don't remember that anymore, so it doesn't affect me. But when I was younger, it was like, I wish I could just like wake up and not feel like this. Or I wish I could just like be normal like my friends and not have to think about putting one foot in front of the other to walk somewhere or like do something. Like it probably was a lot more of a struggle. I probably masked it with a lot of things when I was younger as opposed to like now, but
that mindset is sort of a typical mindset, but then do you remember, is it because you started going to the gym and taking care of yourself that your mindset started to shift and like accepting?
Probably. And because I realized I was like, I'm so young.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know? So like, it's like, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, so I can wallow in it and feel sorry for myself and make everybody else try and feel sorry for me too. But at the end of the day, what is that really going to do for me? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I think just like trying to find ways to help myself and probably, going to the gym and just starting to take better care of myself, like with food and just everything else probably really did help me like change that and get out of that, like really like what could have become a really like negative.
Yeah. I get exposed to a lot of women who are typically my age or older that have so many different types of autoimmune diseases out there. And I feel them and I want to validate them when they say like, you know, I have, Crohn's disease or I have whatever, and I'm really tired all the time. And I'm really like, I hear it. And at the same time, I know, and I know that there's still another path. Like you're tired all the time, but you don't have to like let that win.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to not let that win.
I think I also think we were so young.
Yeah.
So it sort of just became part of our life. I wonder what it would be like to be
later
our age now, or even older, and you're so set in a certain lifestyle or a certain way and then have to change that.
Yeah.
It's not easy no matter what age you are, but like we were less set in our ways, I guess.
Yeah, pros and cons to both.
Oh yeah, but I think that you have to push through some of that too. Like it's really easy to make excuses.
How do you push through?
I mean, there are just certain things that I like, my alarm goes off, I get up. You know what I mean? Like
you hear that?
I get up.
Hear that,
take my medicine. And I lay there for 10 more minutes while that like kicks in and stuff. But then I get up because if I just like hit snooze 1,000 times, like that's not, I don't know, it just doesn't do me any favors. But
you don't feel good when you do that.
No,
it's the indicator of.
But there's like certain things that like just became like drinking water, like I don't know, like where it just became like little habits that like I started to change that eventually just became like lifestyle.
When's the last time that you felt like, I do not want to go to the gym, or like I do not want to?
Not even kidding.
Did you go?
Well, I didn't go to the gym, but I didn't want to take class.
Okay, did you take it? You took class, yeah.
But like I don't know what it was. Like I think the heat and the humidity really affect me too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it was that.
And so how do you coach yourself into showing up? How do you get there?
You're up. Just get up. Like, just put the outfit on. I think it was like literally like class started at 6:45. I think it was 6:35. I'm like putting my leggings on. I'm like, but also, especially with FLK method, it's easy to make an excuse because you are home.
Yeah.
But it's also like, just like you've said, like just go in there. And if you don't, I didn't take class full out this morning.
Yeah.
But I still did something.
Yeah.
And it still felt better than nothing.
You should redo that one. That was a good one.
It was good.
That was a good one.
It was a good one though.
After that, I was like, I just kicked my own ass.
Oof, right.
Oof. Yeah, you don't have to go all the way.
Yeah. But I still got in what I could. Like I left my ankle weights off. I still did what I could. And that was it, you know? And it felt bad. And then afterwards I was like, okay, I feel good now.
Yeah.
Yoga. And then I just started my day. But there are days where I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym, but I know that if I don't, I'll feel worse.
Yeah.
So,
And I always love to tie this into mental health, because when you get up and you feel like that, if you give into that and you don't go work out, it's only going to get worse.
mm-hmm.
And inevitably, if you do work out, you feel better.
And that's where I think people get stuck. They're like, oh, but I just didn't feel like it. And I'm so tired and I'm so this. But it's like, but you'll feel better.
Yes,
It will give you
yes.
energy, but people don't want to hear that.
No, but it's like, I think the sort of validation of, even if you just show up to the workout and like eat shit, like you just do the bare minimum, you're still going to feel better that you showed up and didn't sleep in. So like it's like the just showing up in whatever capacity you can, because it's not going to be all out every day.
Yeah.
But the fact that you showed up and you're like, I'm doing this. And there are going to be moments in that where it is a push, because you're mentally already struggling, but then you push through it. And then I felt that way this morning, because I feel that way all the time when I have to get up and teach. I got to work out and teach at the same time. Right. And it's just like, oh. And then you're just like, okay, I'm here and I'm doing it. And then after this morning, I thought to myself, I was standing right here, I was looking out in my backyard and I was thinking to myself, like, thank God for physical fitness. Because if I were to wake up, because when I wake up very early so that I can be with my thoughts, pros and cons to that, depending on the morning. And I'm like, if I just was with my thoughts for another hour, like it just, like, thank goodness. And I know sleeping is another option. We could just sleep through that time. But also the con of that is, like, if you sleep and then you wake up and the first thing you do is something for someone else.
Yeah.
If the first thing you're doing in your day is something for someone else, whether it's getting your kid ready, getting dressed for work, going to work, and you're not doing anything for yourself, you just have this little bubble of resentment that you're walking around with that you don't even know.
No, that's
like, you're a grouch, you have a short temper, and you think like you're just like that, and you're like, I am who I am. But like, no, you just need to go work out. Right?
What you see is what you get.
Yeah. WYSIWYG. One of our clients said that yesterday, WYSIWYG, and no one knew what she was talking about, because apparently it's from when we were not born, or we weren't around. And WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. Yeah. You don't. So that's actually maybe that's the name of the episode, WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, because what you see is not. You can't see, you could never see that you're dealing with this, and you don't have to look like your disease. For anybody there that's out there that's dealing with an autoimmune disease or dealing with a struggle, you don't have to look like your struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be an autoimmune disease.
No.
It could be anything.
You don't have to look like your loss you just went through. You don't have to look like your breakup. You don't have to look like because you can.
And it's hard to not.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's hard to not. But when you push through that, it's just makes your life experience better. I mean, you could cry in the grocery store. That's cool. I've done that too, but it's just, and sometimes you kind of need to, but
yeah, there's balance.
There's a little bit of balance, but putting more of the eggs in the bright side basket is my motto.
I mean, working out, FLK method, just in general, like, has gotten me through, I mean, probably a lot of us through a lot of things, but I mean, it was when my mom was going through chemo and my mom was going, like, I would take breaks and go to the gym just to release that. If I didn't have that outlet, it probably would have manifested in other ways or and it probably wouldn't have been healthy, and then that would have helped, like, hurt my autoimmune disease too on top of that. So it's,
right. And that's another thing when people are going through, I have a client right now, her mom's in the hospital, and this happens all the time where people are dealing with a family member going through stuff, and that becomes the excuse to not take care of yourself, when it's like, this is actually the time that you should be.
Yeah.
And even if it's in a smaller micro way, but it can then cause you harm.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
Yeah.
I think you really need to, like, most people don't. it seems like I feel like we all seem like we're more selfish because of social media and things like that. But in reality, most people are not taking the time that they need to take care of themselves. That's why when people get sick, as soon as they're like better, they're like, oh my God, it's the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take care of myself
Yeah.
and I'm never going to get sick again.
Yeah.
But then they inevitably go right back into their routine and then they get sick again. And then it's like, oh my God. You know? So
I am such a, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but as soon as I start feeling not sick, I'm on it. I am doing everything I can to make sure that I am good. And it is, I remember that when I got COVID real bad and I was in the hospital, I was in the emergency room because I think I couldn't swallow. So like I couldn't even like swallow my spit or saliva. Like it was so bad. And after they put me on like IVs, you know, like I felt better after, you know, a few hours, and I'm laying there just starting to like come back to life. And I see like the security for the hospital, you know, saying hi to people walking by with like a cup of coffee, just like black coffee and like his hand. And I was just like, it was like the simplest pleasure I was looking at that I took for granted all the time. And I hadn't been able to have coffee in, I don't know, probably like a week, at least a week at that point, because my mouth and throat, whatever was happening. And I remember that moment laying in that bed and just looking at him being like, I am just going to savor these cups of coffee. Like I cannot wait to just be, and I think it's a good lesson for us all too. And I have it in my daily practice. I just created a new notebook because I fill them up, but you know, on the front of my notebook, it says like, I have everything I need. And then it's a gratitude. And just like every day I just write stuff that I'm grateful for, because it is until you don't have it, until you don't have the ability to take a deep breath, until you don't have the ability to pick up the weight, until you don't have the ability to, you know, say you love someone, like, and when it's taken away from you, it gets real and you have to deal with it. And so while we have it, I think it's important to just notice it. Yeah. And be grateful for it. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're awesome. Yes. Yes, we are. So drop your excuses and, yeah, whatever it is you're going through, even if I kind of hate the word excuse, because it's like, if it's valid to you, like it's valid. It doesn't matter. Like if I think it's an excuse or anybody else does, like if you're saying like, oh, I'm tired, that's your truth. So I think a good question today while we end is like, what's your truth? Because our truth could be like, we're sick. Yeah. Right. And then because you begin to live that truth and you speak your truth. So whatever it is you're doing on a daily basis, however it is you're speaking to yourself and others, is your truth. So if you want to change your mind and change your life, change how you're talking about yourself, change what you're doing, change your truth, and listen to more of the Fit Like Krys podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.